Ladies and gentlemen, friends, and fellow dreamer, today I want to talk about something that touches each of us at different times in our lives: the need to rebuild. We live in a world that constantly pushes us forward. Sometimes life challenges us in ways we never expected, and we find ourselves broken, shaken, or lost. It's in those moments that we have a choice to stay down or to rise, to rebuild. Rebuilding is not a one-time effort. It's a lifelong journey. It's not about fixing something that's broken. It's about transforming yourself into something new, something stronger. You see, rebuilding doesn't mean returning to what you once were. It means understanding that what you went through, no matter how painful or difficult, is a part of your story. But it doesn't define you. It's a chapter, not the whole book. I've learned that the first step in rebuilding is accepting who you are, where you are. We often look for the things that are missing, the parts of us that have been lost. But instead of focusing on what's gone, we need to celebrate what remains. Your spirit, your mind, your heart, your strength, they're all still there, even on the days when you don't feel like it. Rebuilding requires patience. Just like a house that crumbles needs time to be restored, your soul, your heart, and your mind need time to heal. You cannot rush growth. So many times we want to skip the hard part. We want to jump to the result, to feel okay, to be okay. But the beauty of rebuilding lies in the process itself. Every day, every moment, you make a choice. And in those choices, you reshape your future. But rebuilding also requires courage, the courage to let go of things that no longer serve you. Sometimes, the hardest part of rebuilding is knowing when to walk away from what holds you back. It could be a toxic environment, a belief, or even an identity that no longer fits who you've become. It's okay to outgrow things. It's okay to leave parts of your past behind. You are not what has happened to you. You are what you choose to become. As you rebuild, you will face setbacks. There will be days when the progress seems too slow, the path too difficult. But remember, even the smallest steps forward are still steps. It's not about how fast you go, but how you keep going. Rebuilding yourself is an act of self-love. It's about treating yourself with kindness and respect, even when the world around you is harsh. It's about realizing that you deserve to be happy, you deserve to heal, and you deserve to grow. So, if you find yourself today in a place where you feel broken, lost, or unsure, don't give up. Take a deep breath and start rebuilding. Piece by piece, moment by moment, you will find strength in your scars. You will discover that you are capable of rising, of growing, of becoming more than you ever thought possible. You are your own architect. You have the power to rebuild yourself, stronger, wiser, and more beautiful than before. Rebuilding yourself is not a quick fix or a single moment of change. It is a journey, a winding, often unpredictable journey that requires time, patience, and most importantly, the willingness to embrace the process. So many times, we expect instant transformation, expecting that a single decision or event will immediately turn things around. But real, lasting change takes time. It's like planting a seed. You water it, care for it, and wait. And only then does it bloom into something new. In our fast-paced world, we're often conditioned to want things done quickly. We have instant access to almost everything: food, answers, even relationships, all at the click of a button. But healing, growth, and self-rebuilding, those things don't follow the same rules. When you decide to rebuild yourself, you are setting out on a path that will require endurance, resilience, and most of all, an understanding that the journey itself is just as important as the destination. When you're going through a difficult period in life, it's natural to feel overwhelmed. You look at your current state and it can seem like an endless climb ahead. The mistakes you've made, the things you've lost, the people who have come and gone, All of this can make the process of rebuilding feel like an uphill battle. But it's in these moments where it seems the hardest that we must remind ourselves of one simple truth. Rebuilding doesn't happen overnight. We all know the saying, Rome wasn't built in a day. While it might sound cliche, it's true. Things that are built to last take time. The tallest buildings and the strongest structures don't go up in a hurry. They require careful planning, a solid foundation, and hours of hard work. The same goes for the process of rebuilding yourself. It's not about rushing to fix yourself. It's about growing, evolving, and learning to accept where you are in the process. In this age of social media, we are constantly bombarded with images of perfection. We see people who seem to have it all, the ideal life, the perfect body, the glowing happiness, and it can be easy to forget that behind those pictures lies a journey, one that has involved struggles, setbacks, and most importantly, time. Rebuilding doesn't come with a glamorous timeline. It's not something you can document in a perfectly curated Instagram story. But it's real, it's raw, and it's where you'll find true strength. The key to embracing the process is understanding that there is no right or wrong way to rebuild. There's no universal blueprint. Everyone's journey is unique, and that's okay. Some days will feel like victories, others like defeats, and that's fine. Rebuilding yourself means recognizing that it's not about perfection, but about progress. Progress is the ultimate marker of success in this process, and it's not always linear. There will be days where you take 2 steps forward, and other days where you feel like you've taken a step back. The trick is to keep moving, even when it feels hard. Another crucial part of embracing the process is accepting the ebb and flow of emotions. When you're rebuilding, you will experience highs and lows. Sometimes you'll feel incredibly proud of how far you've come, and other times the weight of your struggles will feel overwhelming. This emotional roller coaster is a natural part of growth. Allow yourself to feel it all. Don't push away the sadness, the frustration, or the anger. Those emotions are a part of the journey. They remind you that you are human, that you're alive, and that you are capable of feeling deeply. And through those feelings, you will find the strength to rise again. Patience is an essential ingredient in rebuilding yourself. We are taught that success is measured by speed, that the faster we achieve something, the better it is. But real growth isn't about how fast you can turn things around. It's about how deeply you learn and evolve in the process. Rushing the process only results in superficial change. True transformation takes time to integrate into your soul, into your body, into your life. And as hard as it may seem in the moment, embracing the slow, steady path is the most rewarding way to rebuild yourself. There will be days where you feel like quitting, where the weight of the past seems too heavy to carry forward. But it's in these moments where you have to lean into the process even more. Allow yourself to rest if you need it, but never stop moving forward, even if the steps are small. Rebuilding is not about pushing yourself to perfection. It's about getting up every day, doing what you can, and trusting that you are headed in the right direction. The idea of embracing the process also means being kind to yourself along the way. Self-compassion is a vital part of healing. Many of us are our harshest critics. We berate ourselves for our mistakes, for the things we didn't do right, for the ways we feel we've failed. But none of that helps us move forward. The process of rebuilding requires that we treat ourselves with the same love and patience we would offer to someone we care about deeply. We have to forgive ourselves for what we couldn't control and give ourselves the grace to learn and grow. In the process of rebuilding, we also need to find joy in the little things. Life can often feel overwhelming, especially when you're working on yourself. But even in the toughest times, there are moments of beauty, of peace, of joy. Take a moment to notice them, whether it's the warmth of the sun on your face, a smile from a stranger, or a simple achievement like getting through the day. These small moments are the building blocks of your transformation. They serve as reminders that even in the darkest times, there is light to be found. And as you rebuild, those moments will become more frequent, more vivid. When we are rebuilding, we often focus on what we need to change about ourselves. But part of the process is also about rediscovering who you are at your core. Rebuilding isn't just about fixing what's broken. It's about connecting with the essence of who you are and allowing that to shine through. During this process, you may uncover strengths you didn't know you had, talents you had forgotten, and passions that had been buried under the weight of past experiences. Embrace these revelations. They are part of your growth. It's important to remember that rebuilding doesn't mean you're broken. It means you are evolving. Life is constantly changing, and so are you. Every experience, whether it's a hardship or a triumph, is part of the person you are becoming. And as you go through the process of rebuilding, you are becoming stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your true self. The journey of rebuilding yourself is never straightforward. It's filled with detours, setbacks, moments of doubt, and plenty of challenges. But it's also filled with growth, with new perspectives, and with an ever-deepening understanding of yourself and the world around you. And even though the process can sometimes feel long and exhausting, remember that every step you take, no matter how small, is progress. Is a victory, and in the end, the process itself is what will make you whole. Sure, here's an expansion of Keynote 2, Let Go to Grow, in 750 words without an ending sentence as requested. Rebuilding yourself often involves letting go of things that no longer serve you. It's a hard truth, but one that is vital for growth. The idea of releasing is not about forgetting or erasing the past. It's about understanding that the past has its place, but it does not need to define your future. Letting go is not a sign of weakness or failure, but a necessary step in reclaiming your strength and moving forward. We all carry baggage, whether it's emotional, mental, or physical. Sometimes we carry it for so long that it becomes part of who we think we are. We hold on to past mistakes, hurts, regrets, and even old versions of ourselves that no longer fit the person we are becoming. The challenge is realizing that by holding on to these things, we are holding ourselves back. They weigh us down, keep us stuck, and prevent us from stepping into the person we are meant to be. Letting go requires a deep level of honesty with yourself. It involves recognizing the things that no longer serve your well-being, growth, or happiness. These might be relationships, toxic environments, old beliefs, habits, or even identities you've outgrown. It's important to understand that holding on to something out of fear or attachment doesn't allow for new possibilities to emerge. It keeps you tied to a version of yourself that is no longer aligned with your true potential. This doesn't mean that what you let go of didn't matter. In fact, the things you release often shape who you are, and they are important to your journey. But holding on to them indefinitely can become a form of self-sabotage. When you let go, you make space for the new, for the things that will nurture your growth and help you step into the life you truly deserve. It's not about erasing the past. It's about not letting it dictate your present or your future. Sometimes we hold on to the past out of a sense of loyalty. We feel obligated to maintain relationships or commitments that are no longer serving us, simply because we've invested so much time or energy in them. But this can trap us in cycles of resentment, bitterness, or unfulfilled potential. Letting go of these things can be one of the most freeing decisions you'll ever make. It's not about abandoning people or giving up on something that once meant a lot to you. It's about choosing yourself. It's about recognizing that your worth and your growth should never be compromised by the attachments you have to things or people that do not contribute positively to your life. Letting go also involves shedding old beliefs or mindsets that no longer serve your personal growth. Many of us carry limiting beliefs, ideas about ourselves that are born from past experiences, other people's opinions, or societal pressures. These beliefs might tell you that you're not good enough, that you don't deserve more, or that you'll never be able to change. These beliefs are often rooted in fear or insecurity, but they don't have to define you. Releasing these limiting beliefs allows you to open yourself up to a world of possibilities that you may have previously thought were out of reach. One of the most difficult things to let go of is fear itself. Fear keeps us from moving forward. It keeps us stuck in unhealthy cycles, avoiding the very things that can help us grow. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. These fears often control our decisions, shaping the way we live and think. But letting go of fear doesn't mean you won't experience it. It means you don't let it control you. It means you acknowledge it, face it, and move forward anyway. When you let go of the fear that holds you back, you open yourself up to growth and opportunities that once seemed impossible. It's also important to note that letting go is not an instant process. It takes time and it can be painful. The things you release have been a part of your life, and detaching from them may leave you feeling vulnerable or uncertain. But that's a part of the process. Vulnerability is where growth happens. The discomfort that comes with letting go is a sign that you are making room for something new. And though the process may feel difficult at times, remember that it is in those moments of discomfort that you begin to transform. Letting go is also about forgiveness of others, and just as importantly, forgiveness of yourself. Often we hold on to grudges, resentment, or regret because we feel wronged or hurt by someone else's actions. We think that holding on to these feelings will somehow make us feel better or give us control. But in reality, holding on to negative emotions only harms us. Forgiving others doesn't mean excusing their actions. It means freeing yourself from the emotional weight that you are carrying. It's a release that allows you to move forward with peace in your heart. Likewise, forgiving yourself is just as crucial. We all make mistakes. We all have moments where we wish we could go back and do things differently. But holding on to guilt or regret only keeps you trapped in the past. Releasing that guilt is an act of self-compassion. It's understanding that you did the best you could with what you knew at the time. Letting go of self-blame opens up space for healing and for you to embrace the lessons you've learned. As you begin to let go of the things that no longer serve you, you'll notice a shift within yourself. You'll feel lighter, freer, and more open to the possibilities of life. Releasing the old gives you the energy and clarity to create something new, something that aligns with who you are now. You'll find that when you let go of the things that weigh you down, you make room for the things that truly matter, your passions, your goals, your dreams. This journey of letting go isn't easy, and it's not something that happens overnight, but it's a powerful part of the process of rebuilding yourself. In letting go, you give yourself the gift of growth, of renewal, and of a future that is not confined by the past. You allow yourself to evolve, to become more of who you are meant to be, and that is the essence of true transformation. When we think about rebuilding ourselves, we often imagine big, dramatic changes. We envision sweeping transformations, moments of great breakthroughs, and sudden, life-altering shifts. While those moments can be significant, the truth is that real growth is built on the foundation of small, consistent actions. Small steps matter. They are the threads that weave together the fabric of your transformation, and over time, they create something much larger than the sum of their parts. In the journey of rebuilding, it's easy to get overwhelmed by the big picture. You look at where you are and where you want to be, and the distance between the two can seem vast. This can cause feelings of doubt or frustration, as if the task ahead is insurmountable. But the key to navigating this journey is realizing that no step is too small to matter. Every little action you take, no matter how insignificant it may seem in the moment, is moving you closer to where you want to be. The power of small steps lies in their ability to accumulate over time. Imagine a single drop of water. On its own, it may seem insignificant, a small droplet in the vastness of an ocean. But when combined with countless other drops, it can form a powerful stream, a river, and eventually an ocean. Your daily choices, even if they seem minor, work in the same way. They build momentum. Over time, these small actions compound, creating a powerful force for change in your life. One of the reasons small steps matter so much is that they are sustainable. It's easy to get caught up in the idea of making dramatic changes all at once, but this can lead to burnout or feelings of failure when things don't go as planned. Small steps, however, are manageable. They don't require you to overhaul your entire life in one go. Instead, you can start with one small, achievable goal and build from there. This gradual approach prevents you from becoming overwhelmed and allows you to maintain a steady, consistent pace toward your larger goals. The key to small steps is that they are often more achievable than grand gestures. When we set massive goals or try to change everything at once, we set ourselves up for disappointment. But when we break down our larger objectives into smaller, more actionable steps, we give ourselves the opportunity to succeed. Success, after all, is not about achieving everything at once. It's about creating a series of wins, no matter how small they seem. Every win builds confidence, and every small victory is a reminder that you are on the right track. Small steps also allow room for flexibility and adjustment. When we make huge changes in our lives, we often forget that life is unpredictable. Things don't always go as planned, and when they don't, it can feel like a setback. However, when you focus on small steps, you create a more adaptable approach to change. If one strategy doesn't work, it's easier to adjust, try something new, or take a different route. There is less pressure to get it right on the first try, which allows you to keep moving forward without the fear of making mistakes or facing failure. Another reason small steps matter is that they build consistency. Consistency is one of the most important factors in long-term growth. It's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about showing up every day, even in small ways. Whether it's taking a few minutes each day to reflect on your goals, making one healthy choice, or doing a small task toward your larger objective, these daily actions add up over time. Consistency creates momentum, and momentum fuels progress. Even on days when you feel like you're not making huge strides, small, consistent actions ensure that you are always moving forward. It's also important to recognize that small steps often lead to profound internal shifts. Many times we focus so much on external results, what we achieve, what we accomplish, or how quickly we can get somewhere, that we overlook the quiet, internal transformations that are taking place. Every small step you take is an opportunity to shift your mindset, to build new habits, and to reinforce your sense of self-discipline. And that's how to pick yourself. It's time to reinforce yourself, to build new habits, and to reinforce your sense of self. These internal changes, while subtle, form the foundation for lasting transformation. Over time, you'll look back and realize that the person you have become was shaped by the daily actions you took, not just the big, dramatic moments. Small steps also offer opportunities for reflection and learning. When you take your time and focus on one thing at a time, you create space to assess where you are and how far you've come. You allow yourself to evaluate your progress and make adjustments if necessary. This continuous feedback loop helps you grow more effectively. Each small step offers you valuable lessons about yourself, your strengths, and your challenges. And with each lesson learned, you become better equipped to tackle the next step on your journey. It's easy to dismiss the power of small steps, especially when you're in a hurry to reach your destination. We live in a world that prizes speed and instant gratification, and it's tempting to think that faster is always better. But true growth takes time, and sometimes the slower, more deliberate path is the one that leads to the most sustainable success. It's like planting a garden. You don't rush the process. You plant the seeds, nurture them, and give them time to grow. It's a gradual process, but the results are worth it. The most beautiful thing about small steps is that they remind us that we don't have to wait for a big dramatic moment to begin rebuilding. You don't need to wait for the perfect circumstances or for everything to align before you take that first step. Every small decision, every little action is a chance to move forward. Whether it's a tiny adjustment in your daily routine, a shift in your mindset, or a small change in your behavior, every step brings you closer to the person you are meant to be. Even when the road ahead seems daunting, remember that you don't have to take giant leaps to make meaningful progress. The small steps matter. They are the foundation of transformation, the building blocks of growth, and the quiet force that propels you toward your future.